Sometimes a question doesn't arrive as a question at all. It arrives as discomfort, a quiet irritation with surface answers, a sense that explanations, even beautiful ones, stop satisfying something deeper. I notice this when the mind keeps returning to the same thought, not because it's unresolved, but because it feels misdirected, as if I've been asking the wrong thing altogether. The Bṛhadāraṇyaka feels like it emerges exactly at that moment, when silence is no longer enough, but speech hasn't yet found its target. When awareness, having withdrawn from noise, now turns and notices itself standing there, unsure of what to ask, but certain that something must be seen. This text doesn't feel like philosophy yet. It feels like pressure building behind the eyes, like attention beginning to fold back on itself. The rituals have softened. The forest has done its work, and now, instead of asking how the world works, something more unsettling appears. Who is it that has been watching all of this? Not rhetorically, not poetically, almost awkwardly. I might be wrong, but it feels like the mind here loses its confidence in its own position. It's no longer satisfied being the observer. It wants to know where observation itself arises from. And that curiosity doesn't feel intellectual. It feels existential, slightly like standing on ground that suddenly questions its own solidity. What strikes me is how gently this inquiry begins. There's no dramatic declaration of no rejection of the world, just a subtle shift in orientation. Attention stops chasing objects and starts noticing the space in which objects appear. Thoughts still move. Breath still flows. Life continues. But something has changed. The center feels less fixed. Identity feels less obvious. The Brihadaranyaka dosanti demand answers. It creates conditions where the usual answers begin to dissolve on their own. And in that dissolution, a different kind of seeing becomes possible. One that doesn't add knowledge, but removes assumptions. I notice how uncomfortable that removal can be. The mind wants to land somewhere, to claim something, to say, this is it. But this text refuses to give it that comfort. It keeps pointing. Not outward, not upward, but inward, again and again, until the pointing itself becomes the question. Who is hearing this? Who is thinking this? Who is aware of this doubt? And each time the question arises, it quietly strips another layer of certainty. Not violently, patiently, like peeling something that was never meant to be permanent in the first place. There's something almost scientific about this movement. Hypothesis dissolving under observation, the observer becoming part of the experiment, the boundary between subject and object thinning. I can't help noticing how modern this feels, like consciousness studies before terminology, like an early recognition that awareness cannot be located, measured, or owned, only noticed. And the more it's noticed, the less it feels personal. The I that wanted answers starts to feel like just another appearance, a pattern, a thought pretending to be a center. This is where the seed truly feels planted. The Brihadaranyaka doesn't tell you what the self is. It makes the question unavoidable. It corners awareness, gently, until there's nowhere left to look but here. And that, here, isn't a place. It's a recognition. Quiet, unclaimed, slightly unsettling. Because once seen, it can't be unseen. And yet, nothing dramatic has happened. The world remains. Breath continues. Thought moves. But the sense of who all this belongs to begins to blur. I might be wrong, but it feels like this is the moment the journey truly turns. Not toward renunciation, not toward devotion, but toward direct seeing, where the inquiry is no longer about texts, rituals, or structures, but about the one who has been engaging with them all along. And this isn't the end. It's barely the beginning. Because once awareness starts asking about itself, it won't accept borrowed answers anymore. It will want to see. Directly, quietly, relentlessly. And whatever comes next will not feel like learning. It will feel like remembering something that was never absent.